In this video, I want to talk about mindset. Now, mindset is so important. So you might ask yourself, what is mindset? Well, mindset's all about the way you think about things. Mindset is the way you've been programmed. It's how you perceive things. Now, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control the way you think about it. We all notice negative person or negative people. We all know one, somebody who is just constantly negative about everything, so miserable and depressed and moans and complains, and we probably know quite a few of those. And a person like that is because it's a person with a negative mindset. Somebody who thinks they have no control over everything. Somebody who thinks or doesn't want to take responsibility for anything. And that sort of person just drains the energy in the room. Their mindset is closed. They can't change it. Does that sound like you? Do you have a negative mindset of some sort? Do you feel helpless? Do you feel like you can't change anything? Do you feel like that, it's hopeless trying? Well, if that's the case, you have a negative mindset. And a negative mindset is very destructive. You need to change that. So what's the opposite of a negative mindset? It's somebody with a positive mindset and a more open mindset. Somebody who, they face the same problems, they face the same challenges, but they want to find a way of solving those problems and of getting over those challenges. So instead of saying, I can't do anything about this, and I don't understand that, and everything's going wrong, to say, right, okay, I don't like what I'm doing, I don't like where I am, but how can I change it? What difference can I make? How can I solve this problem? And that's certainly a more open type of mindset. And that's really what you need to find. An open mindset is the only way that you're going to be able to progress. A positive mindset, and there's an open mindset. And it's going to make all the difference in life if you have the right type of mindset, if you understand that you can make a positive change in your life, if you take responsibility, then it's amazing what you can do. You can do anything. But you don't want to be that negative person, that person that's always moaning and complaining and whinging. And if that sounds like you, then you definitely need this video, because you need to start right now working on your mindset. You need to change. So, just to let you see where we are at the moment. It's on the cliff tops in a place called South Shields. Near South Shields, it's actually called Marsden, which is in the northeast of England. It's a winter day, but it's not bad weather at all. Life is good, and it's only as good as you make it. If you have the wrong sort of mindset and you have the wrong sort of thoughts and thinking, then it's not going to be good. You can't always change what happens to you, but you can change the way you think about it. So, how does mindset get created? Where does mindset come from? Well, when we're born, it's like a new computer. We're like an empty computer, brand new computer, straight out the box, without any software in it whatsoever. A complete blank. And it starts from there. The things that we experience, the people we are around, the people we associate with, the things that we hear, the things that we read, the things that we see, the experiences that we have, all of those sort of things build the mindset. And if we have lots of negative experiences, if we have lots of negative people around us, if we hear lots of negative things, if we hear lots of bad things, then that's going to build a bad mindset. And of course, we all have these experiences. We all are subject to the same bad news, watching the news on TV about wars and people that's been murdered and all the other bad things that we see. We all have that. But the difference is, it's all about the way you process that information. A large part of a mindset is built up as a child. So up to about the age of 6 or 7, that is when the large part of your mind is formed in the way that you think. And that is a critical period of time. So your parents are going to play a large part of that. Your parents are going to be a major influence on the way your mindset is. So if you have negative parents, if you have violent parents and that sort of thing, if you have parents that are not loving, they're not nurturing, all that is going to cause a mindset that isn't good. So you're going to have to think back maybe to your childhood and what happened to you in your childhood to see how your mindset was formed. But also, what about the people around you? What about the people you associate with? What about your friends, your family? What are they like? Do you associate with positive people? Do you associate with successful people? Or are you surrounded by negative people? Are you surrounded by mourners? Are you surrounded by whingers? Because there's plenty of those in the world. And these are the things you're going to need to change. Because it's those people that will be contributing towards your mindset. What you see on TV, the TV news. Some people don't watch TV news. It's not a bad idea because all you see is doom and gloom. Some people are very susceptible to what they see on social media. There's so much negative stuff out there on social media. Now, one thing about the social media that's important to know is that social media will feed you more of what you watch and engage with. So if you're watching and engaging with negative things, with miserable things, with doom and gloom, then social media just feeds you more of that because I think that's what you want. So they'll give you more of it. So be very, very aware of what you have on your social media. Be aware of what you'll click like on, what videos you watch, what you post. Be aware of all of that because you get much more of it. So make an effort to make your social media consumption more positive. Don't take part in social media discussions because people on social media are just crazy in many cases, and there's so many negative discussions, there's so many negative comments about things that are positive because there's so many negative people in the world. So avoid all of that. Avoid any sort of negativity that you can. And as I say, social media in this day and age is a large influence on things like that because there's just so much of it around. So do what you can to avoid that sort of thing. Look at your friends and family. Do you have negative friends and family? This is a hard thing because, it's not easy to get away from people you've been maybe friends with for years, or maybe your family that are really negative. That's just so difficult. But you've got to do something about that. So, if you can't remove them for your life, you've got to change the way you think about the way they are. And, if you're on a journey yourself to try and change your mindset, don't try and change them in the process because they will resist. They will resist like their life depends on it. And the reason that they will do that, and the reason that you feel like doing the same thing, is because of the way the mind works. The way the mind is devised. Going back to caveman days, we had to do a lot about survival, and the mind likes to be comfortable. It likes to know it's safe, and as a result, it doesn't like to change. It's a protection mechanism. But in modern society, 99.9% of the time, we don't need to be like that. We can be a lot more relaxed and open to change and that sort of thing, but it's not comfortable to change. It's hard, and you feel like you're getting nowhere, you feel like nothing's happening, you feel like you're wasting your time. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. So your mind intentionally makes it uncomfortable to try and maintain the status quo. So you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and changing your mindset. Changing your mindset to something more positive, changing the way you look at things. So, when something happens to you, when somebody says something to you, you will react in a completely different way. You'll react in a much more constructive and much more positive way. Your mindset will be more open. You'll be looking for ways that you can solve problems. You could be looking for ways you can overcome challenges. You won't feel bad about things all the time. And you will have a completely different outlook on life. And that's the way forward. Look at people like Elon Musk, for instance. Do you think he's negative? Do you think he's got a closed mindset? Clearly not. The things that guy has achieved is unbelievable. He started PayPal, he started Tesla, he started SpaceX, he started the Boring Company. Those things, those concepts and ideas are just way outside of any relatively normal or average person's imagination. But he had such an open mindset that he was able to do all of these things. So, he's not negative at all. And his mindset is perfectly open. Yeah, I'm not saying that you're going to go on to change the world like he did or he's doing, but you can change your life and you can achieve the things you want to by working on your mindset. Be very aware, as I say, of all the influences around. Education. Education is great, but that's another thing that can contribute towards a negative mindset. A lot of education, this is my belief, a lot of education these days is a bit of a one-size-fits-all thing. Not everybody learns the same way, not everybody's motivated by the same sort of thing. So education is great, but you have to have the right sort of education that works for you. And that's one of the problems that I think with school. It's one of the problems that I had with school, that it didn't really work for me. It didn't really fit the way I learned. It didn't really fit my beliefs and sort of view of the world. And it's the same for a lot of people. So education is something that helps to create the wrong sort of mindset. Teachers in education are a major influence, but at the end of the day, who is to say that a teacher has the right mindset themselves? There's no test when you become a teacher to make sure you've got the right mindset, to make sure you've got the right attitude to life. Of course it's not. They're just doing a normal job. And that's not disrespectful to teachers, it's just a fact. The vast majority of the world are just doing normal jobs. So, surround yourself by people with the right mindset, with a positive attitude. Go on to YouTube, find people who you can relate to. There's so much material out there these days. We're so lucky. We can find material that we can relate to. We can find people we like. Some of the biggest known names in the world for self-improvement, people like Tony Robbins. He's out there. There's other people like Wayne Dyer. He's very spiritual. I've mentioned these before. There's so much out there. Find somebody who you can resonate with, somebody who you can relate to. Watch my videos, and you've got to work on it. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take many, many years. And some people say that, oh well, I can't change. This is the way I was. This is the way I was born. This is the way I am. Can't be changed, and that sort of thing. The genes dictate the way I am. I don't believe any of that. We have something called neuroplasticity, and that if we start thinking in a certain way, there's neurological paths in our brains are created, and they're created based on the way we think. And if you're a negative person, if you've got a closed mindset, then you've got those neurological paths that have been created in a negative sort of way. So we're going to have to find a way of changing the way you think and think in a more sort of positive way to create those neurological pathways in a completely different sort of way. You're going to have to find a way of doing that. It's neuroplasticity is what it's called. So, yeah, genes maybe play some sort of a part in the way you are as a person, possibly. But on the whole, you have control over your life. You have control over your own destiny and your success. Just look at people look at successful people that have had other people in the families close to them that have become just as successful. Look at the two President Bushes, the two, father and son, they both became presidents of the United States, the most powerful man in the world. What's the chances of that, of two members of the same family achieving that? Yeah, you could argue that they both got the same genes, but I don't believe that that's how it happens. Obviously, one has passed the mindset on to the other, and he passed the right sort of mindset on. Sort of, the second one has achieved what the first one did. Look at the Jacksons. The Jackson family, the Jackson Five, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, all of those. How do you think all those got to the top of the game in the music business? Is it the genes? I don't think so. The Jackson, the father, was a large influence of that. And I think it's, the mindset has been passed through to them, passed through down the family. Look at Venus and Serena Williams, famous tennis players. Two sisters that also got to the top of their game. There's so many examples around of people who's reached the top of their game, and another person being close to them, another member of the family, another friend or whatever, has achieved something similar. It just goes to show what you can do, and mindset is a large part of that. The mindset is how you perceive things. The mindset is a filter that you apply to all of these different situations, and with the wrong mindset, it's going to be a complete roadblock. You're not going to get anywhere. So you need to create the right sort of mindset. So, how do you do that? How are you going to change your mindset? Well, as I've already said, make sure that be more conscious about the people you associate with. Join groups and organizations that are more positive, that are more in keeping with what it is that you want to achieve. Avoid negative people, avoid people with a closed mindset, avoid toxic people, definitely so many toxic people around. Avoid those like a plague. Don't argue with stupid people. Don't take place in ridiculous arguments. Don't try to change other people, because they'll just drag you down with them. Look at meditation. Try meditation. Try to see how that works for you. Now, that's something that takes a bit of practice. It's something I struggle with. But try meditation. Try looking at your thoughts. When you have a negative thought, examine it. Look at your negative thought. Look to see, think about it. Now, yeah, it's fine. You'll have negative thoughts. There's nothing you can do about that. But examine those thoughts. Think about them. Write them down. And think about them. And think about them logically. Think, is this really reasonable? Is it sensible? Is it true? Is this thought conducive to the sort of mindset I want? So, journal your thoughts. Create affirmations. Create positive affirmations. Decide exactly what it is that you want, what you want to change. Write a short sentence, an affirmation, and repeat it maybe 20 times, 3 times a day. Learn that affirmation and do that. It doesn't take long to do. Keep on doing it. The reason that works is because your mind is listening. Your mind is not just listening to what goes on around you, but the mind's listening to what you say. The mind, the subconscious mind, doesn't understand what is right and what is wrong. It only knows what it's told. And if you tell the subconscious mind the right thing enough times, the subconscious mind will change, and the subconscious mind will start to believe that. So remember, the subconscious mind is not very intelligent. It just knows what it's told, and it believes what it's told, and it thinks that's the truth. So, if you want to be, if you want to change your mindset, I'm a positive person. I have an open mindset. I'm able to find solutions to problems. You know, that could be an affirmation. You repeat that 20 times, 3 times a day, eventually your subconscious mind is going to start believing that. And over a period of time, you will start to change. Your mindset will start to change. There's a couple of things you can try there. You know, as I say, you have to work on this. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to see instant results. You've got to have patience. It's not just a thing you do for a few months or whatever. This is a change of the way you live. It's a change of your way of life. Once you've got the right mindset, then you can start working on so many other things. Because once your mindset is open, is positive, and you know you will attract the right sort of people. You know, make sure to try to do what you can to associate with the right sort of people all the time. And if you start attracting the right sort of people, then it has like a snowball effect. So see what you can do with that. So that's about all I'm going to say on mindset. Just remember what Henry Ford, the famous car manufacturer, said. He said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. And that's just so true. Well, it's a little bit windy out here. Hope the wind hasn't affected the video too much. Pretty nice scene in the out there to sea in the North Sea today. It's a very nice day out for a walk. It's a nice day to have a good mindset. If you like what you've seen in this video, put some comments below. I'll try to respond to the comments. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be adding lots more videos. I'm going to increase the number of videos going forward now. And I'm going to do what I can to help as many of you improve your life, improve the way that you think, improve your mindset, and just be a generally better person. So that's all from me. Bye.